am back with another YouTube video. Now in today's video, guys, we are going to be doing yet again another book review. Today's book review will be on Goosebumps book number 27, just had to make sure, which is Night in Terror Tower. Alright, so I'm actually going to be making 3 videos today, so I don't really want to make a lot of announcements. I already just made a video like 2 minutes ago, so I don't really want to repeat myself a bunch of times. All I have to say is that I'm making a whole bunch of videos today, and then just kind of putting them out throughout the week. So all I really have to say is stay tuned for those future videos. And also stay tuned for the streams because spring break is coming up. Join the Discord, link will always be in the description, and read my community post for more information. Otherwise, let's get straight on to the book review. Right, so for A Night in Terror Tower, and this, by the way, will be my last book review for books that I have already read, so I'm going to be trying to read books at a little bit of a faster pace so that I can get more book reviews out, instead of just, reading one book and then you have to wait like a month for me to get it over with. I have been taking the time to read my Goosebumps books more often and putting more time into it so that I can get them finished. In fact, I'm just about to finish my Night of the Living Dummy 3 book today, which I will be doing a book review on as well. And then our next book that we'll be reading, since it's actually a shorter one, will be Say Cheese and Die Again. And then I think I'm going to read all of the Monster Bloods, likely. I would like to do that, because I'm very excited and very curious to see what they have to offer. But anyways, here's the 2008 reprint of A Night in Terror Tower. Pretty good one, pretty similar to the original print, just in a different angle or whatever. So there's the 2008 reprint, which I, of course, read out of. I cannot remember when I read A Night in Terror Tower. It was either last year or the year before. But anyways, here is the original print of A Night in Terror Tower, which has a pretty similar color scheme to A Cuckoo Clock of Doom, just a slightly darker tint, I believe. But anyways, A Night in Terror Tower. What do I have to say about this book? The book is much like the episode in terms of the plot, but also how I felt and how I enjoyed both of them. Because A Night in Terror Tower, the episode, is a 2-parter, it makes it feel even more like the book. Because, I love A Night in Terror Tower. I've always loved the concept. It was like, but A Night in Terror Tower is very similar to Let's Get Invisible in a sense, where there's just, not that it drags along, because you definitely have action here and there. But there's just so many parts where I get really bored and I'm not enjoying it very much. The first part of the book wasn't too bad, where they're going into the tower, and we get tricked a few times by the tour guide, who's, he's kind of making these scary little jokes to us and stuff like that. It tricks you throughout the book a few times and kind of scares you. So it keeps you going, and then they eventually get lost and they can't find their parent, which is Morgred. And by the way, the brother and sister are Sue and Eddie in this book. Pretty good characters. They don't fight a lot in the book, which is something that I like in Goosebumps books. And they're visiting a medieval tower in London, where they would do executions and stuff like that. What you think of when you think of medieval and stuff like that. Basically, they get lost after a while. We have certain scenes that kind of get us a little bit jumped up before they, something actually bad happens. They get lost. They eventually find this guy. They realize that is chasing him. They think it's a wax figure, but they realize he's actually chasing them. So they're trying to get out of the tower. They eventually get out of the tower. I can't remember if they did it in the book or it was just the episode, but I know for sure in the episode they come out of the tower and they drive to this hotel, and they can't reserve a room because or they can't go to the room that they were reserved in because apparently it's vacant. So they're so confused and whatnot, and they realize that they're time traveling eventually in the book. I think that's what happened, honestly. This is kind of unique. It's one of the only Goosebumps books that ever was involved in like a time traveling idea. But essentially they time travel and they realize that they're forgetting things because of this. And the guy who was chasing them, I guess, was trying to bring them back to do this, I don't know, some kind of like get together or performance so that they could bring the prince and the princess together, and it was supposed to be King Edward and Queen Susanna or whatever. It's what they do in the episode in the book. And eventually the dad, who was, I believe, the prince when they time traveled, saves them, gets them out of there, and then, happily ever after, basically. That's what happens in the book. They don't show the twist in the book. At least I don't think. I read the last last page just before I did this book review. In the episode, however, Morgred, the parent that was after him, I believe it was his uncle. I don't think it was his dad or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. He had basically these two, little white rocks or whatever that he'd use to get them out of that, out of the medieval times and back to the present time, basically. And he realized he was supposed to have 3 stones. He only had 2. And the guy that was chasing the two siblings the whole time had one of them, and I guess that kind of messed things up because now he could continue with what he was attempting to do, basically. Sorry, my memory's kind of faded on some of this, and I think it's just because of Night in Terror Tower. I like the time travel idea, but watching the episode and reading the book, it just wasn't the best thing in the world. It's better just off to, if you want something medieval themed and you want to have fun, it's better off to just play like something like Skyrim or something like this. But in this book, it kind of gets boring, and I don't know, I don't really like that whole medieval into the book thing, because you get some of these weird, I don't know how you want to say it, like, I don't know, people talking, medieval-like, and it's just kind of boring, unenjoyable, and I don't know, it just doesn't work for a Goosebumps book for me. Not saying that I didn't like the idea. I thought it was a pretty good idea, but personally, for me, I never enjoyed it too much, but I did like some of the stuff that they did in the book where they get lost and they're scared, and I believe in the episode, I distinctly remember they went into some of the execution rooms, so that was pretty cool. When they were lost, they went into another execution room, and they find even more people. And the whole chase aspect, where they're kind of like running and trying to get away from this guy, was actually pretty fun and exciting and suspenseful. So that's what pretty much kept the book alive for me. But other than that, reading the book, watching the episode, it was never too exciting. It wasn't something like Scarecrow Walks at Midnight that I just did a book review on. It didn't keep you on your toes all the time, at least for me. And that just might be because I do not remember a whole lot about the book. And even the episode. Like, I still don't really get the whole concept behind it either. Especially for it being a 2-parter and one of the longer Goosebumps episodes. And it just drags along for a while, especially in the episode. But that's all I really have to say about A Night in Terror Tower. I could go on and on all day trying to remember everything, but by the time you were done with the book, and by the time you were done watching the episode, you were like, oh my god, they finally got back. It's like you watched a whole movie, and then they finally get back to normal, and you're like, wait, who are these guys? And then you finally see Morgan at the end of the episode, and I believe the book, and you're like, wow, haven't seen this guy in a while. But anyways, yeah, A Night in Terror Tower, mediocre book. It's much like Monster Blood, and there's a few other books that were like it, but probably Monster Blood is the best comparison to put it. But I'm not going to give it any score below 5. I think 6 is a good spot for it. I've so far never put a book below 6. This one at least had a unique element to it that I quite liked. It's just like the plot and reading the book wasn't so enjoyable and so exciting. So I'm just going to give it a 6. Very mediocre book. I don't want to give it a 5 because I feel like that would be ignoring some of the good parts about the book. So Night in Terror Tower, definite 6 out of 10, and that's all there is to say. Right, so that is another book review down. So I'm going to finish this Night of the Living Dummy 3 book, and then I'm going to film my last book review for the day, and then edit all these videos. So just so you know, I'm going to be doing 3 book reviews: A Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, A Night in Terror Tower, and Night of the Living Dummy 3. And then I'm going to be doing a gameplay video. I'll be taking at least 1 or 2 games from my last stream, making it into a video. And then I'll be doing a Saw ranking. Those of you who are on my Discord would only know about this, but I'm going to try to get it out as quick as possible. And the ranking actually isn't too long. It's only about close to 25 minutes long, so it's actually shorter than my first take, which would have been a half-hour long. So I hope you guys will enjoy that as well. So yeah, make sure you read the community post so you can stay up to date. And join the Discord. Link will always be in the description for any new links, so that the old ones, in case they expire or whatever. And I think that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for more videos and more streams, because spring break is coming up. Like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time.